Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Greg, your co-host of the Grilling to Getaway podcast. Here's my buddy.
What's that, everyone? This is Ben.
Top of the morning to you, Ben.
Top of the morning.
Thanks for, I thought it was going to be just like a text this morning, like, hey, I'm not going to make it in today.
Fill me in.
Yeah.
Just fill me in.
Let's do a phone call or something because I can't, get out of bed.
Oh, yeah, really? Yeah, because I've done that too. I drag myself in here every week for you.
Yeah. Drag yourself in, huh?
Yeah. Stumble on it. And just,
All
right,
let's do it. Yeah. Roll out of bed.
Yep. That's when I'm at my best,
I remember that.
Remember it? You see it.
I see it every day.
Yeah. What do you remember it? You witness it firsthand, man.
Yeah. So do you do anything special for St. Patty's Day?
Anything special, man?
Anything crazy? Like, I know you're talking about doing some corned beef. Did you do that?
I did.
Did you get the Guinness out? Did you get the Jameson out? What happened?
Man. So you texted me, what was it, like 8:30, 8:45?
Was it that early?
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I know you're not gonna make it. You
No,
already started drinking at 6, right?
It was how many green beers have you had? I said, well, I'm classier than that. I start off with some Irish cream in my coffee.
There you go.
And then I moved to Guinness for lunch.
All right.
That's when I hit the green beers.
Okay.
It's a nice long stretch.
Hey, it's not your first time,
No.
so the game plan.
I drink the green beers until my pee turns green.
Okay. Yeah,
and then
solid.
I cap it off with a little Jameson for,
A little nightcap.
Yeah,
huh?
absolutely.
Get the party started again.
Yeah. Back to green beers, So, no, man. It was a Monday. Kids were busy and stuff. Luckily, they were at school. Another party day.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Nothing happens again. And spring breaks next week.
It sure is, buddy.
This week's just a wash.
Yeah.
But man, I did a corned beef yesterday. I did have 2 green beers, but that was it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you just buy green beers, or do you put
a little dye in
Yeah.
there? Yeah, absolutely.
put some green dye in the kids' milk? Is it? Do they get into that too? Or no?
They do, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I whipped up some green eggs for breakfast yesterday.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Yeah, we did not catch the leprechaun again this year.
Nope.
No. Yeah.
No, we didn't either.
Yeah.
He's a cheeky little
Yeah,
devil.
I know. Yeah. Painted the dog green.
Oh, got you good.
Yeah.
Painted the dog green.
Yeah. Spots all over.
Man.
Yeah.
Did the boys love that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Crosby loves it.
I bet. Heck yeah. Yeah, man. Cal made a trap. He wanted to glue pennies down, and I'm like, we can glue pennies down. But, hey,
what is it with kids? Like Crosby wants to do that same thing. He's like, if we glue him down, he can't pick him up.
Yeah.
And then we get him.
Then what happened? Like, hey, what do you mean glue him down?
Right.
You lost your mind. So Cal built this thing that had a little tunnel coming up into it. And he's like, okay, Dad, let's tape the box shut. So tape it all shut and stuff. And I'm like, hey man, so I know the box is taped shut, but isn't he just gonna come back out the tunnel? And he just stared at me. He's like,
yeah.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
So
a door that opens, but then you can't open it back up.
Yeah, man. So solid trap didn't work.
Okay.
So, but he told me last night. He's like, Dad, I know what I'm gonna do next year. I'm like, all right, well, good. Start planning now.
I know, right?
Start planning now. No, man, solid day. It was. So I had corned beef, cabbage, and some potatoes.
Nice.
All in the 22-inch Weber.
Okay.
The corned beef my wife had gotten from Costco.
Yeah.
So it was just it was 5.5 pounds.
That's pretty decent size.
It was good. Yeah, solid. I had gone back and forth several times on how I wanted to do this.
Sure.
I looked up a bunch of different recipes and stuff. Even I was reading the packaging and stuff to what does the packaging say, right? And it was
boil it.
It was just it had stovetop oven. It really didn't have a grill option and stuff. And everything said it's done at 160.
Right. Yeah.
And everything else that I read too was it said kind of along the same lines, man. Done at 160. It didn't say get it to 165, wrap, pull at 205. It was more it's done at 160, and then just stick it with a probe and see until what.
Timber.
Well, it was get it to as tender as you want it.
Oh, okay.
So it's it goes through butter and stuff, but it's you decide kind of thing. After 160, it's up to you.
Okay.
So it was very loose with the rules.
Sure, yeah.
I kind of like the more cut and dry stuff, man.
You do, yeah.
I do like, well,
You like it like, hey, this is how you're supposed to do it?
I like to have that as like my outline.
Okay.
For me personally, like I like to see like, okay, this is what this recommends. Get it to this, do this, and do this. And then I can kind of make my own decisions from there. This was like, it's just the wild, wild west.
Well,
apparently.
wasn't that really what it was? It's like, hey, get it to 165 and then, do what you want to do.
I guess, but it was never like rapid or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, to where like traditionally, like with the brisket, right? Like you're getting it to like that 165, wrapping it, and then you're pulling what 205-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, so this didn't have like that, which I was like, all right, cool. So
this was just on the packaging, right?
The packaging, even like I pulled out like a couple different books.
Okay.
And the one that I kind of went off of was just like a book, like it was a book on just like straight beef. Has no other cuts of meat in it, just beef. And it had just kind of 2 pages for corned beef, and then the next page was pastrami.
Okay.
So I kind of read both of those to see, because pastrami, you're going more of like, you're getting that smoke flavor to it and all that, right?
Yeah,
like
so that was a question we got to, like when I posted the recipe out there last week about smoking the corned beef.
Mhm.
Somebody said, well, isn't that just pastrami? Yes and no. Like, so the difference between, like, basically pastrami and corned beef are prepared the same way as far as like the brining goes. So like they're in a nice salt, brine. Corned beef is typically then boiled. Pastrami is smoked, but then it's cooled down, right? So it's smoked, it's pre-smoked, it's cooled down, and then you slice it and serve it or whatever. So
they're serving more for like kind of sandwich purposes. And stuff, right? Like it's not like to me, like the corned beef and stuff, and I will use this for sandwiches.
Oh yeah,
the leftovers.
for sure.
But your corned beef and stuff, you're serving kind of as like your main kind of meat or protein on the plate.
Yeah, so like technically pastrami is smoked corned beef, but at the same time, like pastrami is smoked and then you kind of reheat it. It's cooled down, then you reheat it like, if you want to. So there's a little bit of difference. I mean, it's minor differences. Like I was looking out there too. There's like a bunch of smoked corned beef ones, and then same questions. Like, isn't that just pastrami? Like, yes and no, I guess you could say. But
so that's funny that you bring that up, because that's what I ran into too. It's like, well, I want to make pastrami. I want to make this like more of the corned beef.
Yeah.
So that I took into consideration while I was making this.
Sure.
Because like the one time, like one of the best ones I ever made was one of the first ones I did, and like I put it in a pan, and I put a can of Guinness in there, and then I put foil over it.
Yeah, so you're still steaming it.
You're just steaming it. It didn't have any smoke flavor to it, but let me tell you, man, that thing pulled just kind of shredded, like it was a dream.
Now, do you like shredded or do you like cut?
Man, I like cut.
Okay.
I do like cut, but like
it's so tender, it just pulls.
It's so tender, yeah. Like, so I couldn't complain. So I wanted to do kind of like that combo. All right, Greg. So like we talked kind of before we came on the podcast, like, and it was windy yesterday.
Oh man. It was we like 60-mile-an-hour winds, like gusts, like it just like all of a sudden, bam! Yeah, my garbage cans were flying around all over the place.
Yeah. It was a mess out there. So that kind of settled what grill I was going to use, and then the method that I wanted to use as well.
Okay, so tell me about what made you decide based off the wind and the temperature and the stuff.
So with it being like it was beautiful, right? It was up in the 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
Did it touch 60s yesterday? If it got
maybe
close,
but here by the lake it stayed cool.
Definitely not with the wind,
right?
Man.
Yeah,
definitely not with the wind. So, but it was still a beautiful day out and stuff. But the wind made it chilly.
Yeah,
and so I got the grill rolling like around noon, and I decided I was going to use the 22-inch Weber over kind of like my vertical smoker.
Right.
I knew the Weber would hold temp a little bit better. Obviously, it's the drum is smaller.
Sure.
It does, not kind of carrying as much heat and stuff. The steel's a little bit thicker on that as well. So it's like, with it being this windy and stuff, I'm going to plow through charcoal like in the vertical smoker like crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was like, I don't really want to do that. And then I decided, I was like, well, I'm going to use the snake method.
Yeah.
So it's just consistent all the way around. Just nice, easy, slow burn. Like I've got nowhere to be.
Sure.
I was at home working on stuff. So I can kind of check on it and stuff, but it sat. I think the hottest it got did get up to 300 once.
What were you using? B&B?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was kind of more like early on, and I had like opened the lid too. kind of checked on it and stuff. So that kind of calmed it down.
Sure.
But it pretty much hovered right. It did drop to about, it never got below 200. I'd say it got down to like 225, maybe a little bit less than that. But it did. It just, for the most part, it was about that 250 mark, man.
Okay, perfect.
Dude, solid cook.
Do you do like a 2-in-1, like you snake around?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. And I just used some pecan chips.
Nice.
Kind of threw out, and I did throw one on like a little bit, like not towards the end, but like kind of like more like the back half, I guess, of the snake, because I knew I wanted like I was gonna do cabbage and potatoes. As well.
You wanted to catch that too.
And I wanted that to catch it. So not so much obviously for the corned beef at that point anymore. But just for that. So I like I said, dude, I kind of use like this combo method where I had the corned beef, like, and I did season it kind of ahead of time, like, but I put it in one of those, the throwaway tin pan.
Yeah.
I threw my seasoning and stuff in there and like on top, and then I poured like a whole can of Guinness out in there, and then I did a can of water.
Really? That's a lot of moisture in there.
It was because I was going along the lines too of like, well, if you're doing corned beef, it's going to be like boiled, like, but like almost like it's not even like a boil, right? It's a simmer.
It's a simmer. Yeah.
It's a low simmer from hours.
Now, was it covered then completely?
And so no, it wasn't completely submerged, and so that's kind of what I like. So I still kind of got like a little bit of like a barking crust on that like that top layer and stuff, but I wasn't expecting like my seasoning to like stick. It's more just kind of have it in there just to flavor it.
Were you using anything different than the packet that came with the corned beef, or were you?
Yeah, dude, I was just doing some ground pounder and some cracked black pepper.
Okay, some more garlic seasoning, some black pepper.
Yep.
And then whatever the seasoning packet.
That has all the
like, traditional.
It's got some big peppercorns and stuff in there. I did throw some like red pepper flakes in there as well, but it wasn't spicy. No one complained. I didn't even tell anybody I did this. So, I didn't notice any spice to it whatsoever. So, or like heat from the red pepper flakes, man. But, honestly, the snake held great. It worked out really well, especially like on that windy day. I made sure they were nice and tight.
Like, were your vents all the way open, or how'd you have those?
Nope, I didn't, because it was so the bottom one I closed, so it was probably about 2/3 to just over a half open.
Open, okay.
And then the top I did close I turned it just like a little bit, maybe a quarter.
So it was just a little bit open too.
A little bit. Mm-hmm.
And that airflow kept you at about 250.
It was great. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, I've been kind of trying to play with the vents a little bit more and stuff, and looking into that, right? Because
especially on a windy day like that, you gotta. That's an important piece. You gotta make sure you're watching your airflow, because if it's gonna blow in there, it's gonna get too hot, and
it's just gonna turn it up.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Which is on a cook like that, like I said, I really wanted this to just like take a while.
Yeah. Were you using a probe at all? Like, were you using like
I had
wireless?
some in there.
Okay.
I had some in there. I had it set for 165.
Okay.
More is just like a gauge.
Yeah.
Like really just like a gauge. And it was, I want to say around like 2 hours in is kind of when it spiked up to like 300 on the grill temp. So
sure.
I went and checked it, and I did add a little bit more water to it.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to make sure, what I did, Greg, is I took some aluminum foil and I tented it. Okay. So it was like it was almost like I'm still kind of steaming it and boiling it, but it's like I had it open through both sides. So it's still like, it's not just completely open.
Okay. So you had
grill.
So yeah, a tent as opposed to just wrapping it completely around the tin where it's closed all the way, which I typically do. So you just tented it. What made you want to do that?
So it would catch some of that smoke.
Okay.
So otherwise, if I'm closing it off,
yeah,
it's not catching anything.
Oh, so like right away you tented it? You didn't leave it open at all?
I left it open the whole time.
No, I mean like you didn't leave it uncovered at all?
Nope.
Okay, so it had a little bit of cover on.
Yeah, I mean it was solid like 2.5 inches like gap.
Yeah.
So like both ways, so it could just flow right through there.
The smoke flowed through there.
Yep.
Did you left it that way the whole time?
No, for the last like probably 45 minutes, maybe an hour, I covered it.
Covered it completely.
I just closed it off.
No airflow going
right,
through.
because I want to kind of finalize that with the just get kind of more like that traditional, like it's not simmering. Yeah. But just kind of get it nice and heated up in there.
Sure.
It was probably around like 185, 190 at that point anyway.
Sure.
So I was just kind of riding it out.
Yeah. So now you're just kind of looking to get it up higher a little bit, right?
Yep.
What temp did you pull it off at?
I pulled it about 205, 210.
Did you let it rest?
Yeah.
How long?
15, 20 minutes. Just while like kind of the cabbage was finishing up and the potatoes. So it's funny too, man. Like the kids took some pizza for lunch yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. And, not thinking anything, I I heated it up in the microwave a bit for them and wrapped it in like aluminum foil.
Was it the same aluminum foil?
No, man. I was like running out of aluminum foil.
Yeah,
I go to pull it and there's like 6 inches, not even of like foil left in the thing. I was like, damn it.
What do we say, Ben? What do we always say? Be prepared.
Yeah.
Be better.
So luckily I was, dude. So I
stashed away.
I had some stashed away, just enough to kind of cover that, but not enough to do like the cabbage.
Yeah.
So I just used like some butcher paper.
Yeah.
And use that around the cabbage, which was great.
Really?
It allowed a lot more smoke to get
Yeah.
in. So it worked out. It worked out. So I was, but I was like, man, Gray's he's gonna run his mouth on this.
We got a podcast that you go back, you can listen to where we talk about being prepared.
See, I was like this thing. This is like an industrial size thing. Like I swear,
it's still heavy.
I had this for like, oh man, no. It was hilarious though. I was like, I go and I pull it. I'm like, all right, let's get this going. I'm like, oh no, no,
that's terrible.
No.
Well, like we say, adapt and overcome.
Yep. So hey, man,
use the butcher paper, which always works as well.
It worked out.
Yeah.
It worked out. It was great for the cabbage because I wanted to hit that with some smoke, and I'd already kind of been thinking about doing it that way.
Yeah.
So it was great.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Turned
Got
out
lucky.
good.
Got lucky on St. Patrick's Day. So.
The cabbage and potatoes turned out good.
Yeah. So super simple. I just I cut out like the kind of the core of the cabbage. So I put in like a little butter down there and then season that.
Yeah, you like to do that.
I do.
Yeah.
I think it's Myron Mixon
in
one of his cookbooks that I've got. He does that with it. I'm like,
a whole stick of butter?
I didn't do a whole stick. His says,
yeah, I'm sure
his says a whole stick. Mine, I didn't do a whole. I just did a half, and I was like, that's probably it.
Yeah.
And
so you leave it whole, but you just core out the middle, which is like
You gotta be careful too. That's kind of
it's
a hassle a bit.
It is.
You just kind of chip away at it, nice and slow, and just kind of cut it and just get down in there far enough, and it's fine. So I seasoned it from the inside, and then I did do a little bit of oil on the outside.
Yeah.
And I seasoned that with a little bit of our all ration. And then I just wrapped it in the butcher paper, man, and threw it out there. And it was the potatoes. I was just kind of going for like baked potatoes, getting them nice and soft. So we just mash them up and stuff, and then and pour some juices and stuff on there.
Sure,
delicious.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
I tried something different this year with my cabbage. I tried to do like cabbage steaks. So
what'd you think of that? Did it fall apart on the grill?
It did. Yeah, so like that was the thing. Like if I were to do that all over again, I would find a way like either butcher string or like some skewers, like put them through there to keep them together. Because once you cut the cabbage, like I cut it like 1 inch thick, like steaks.
Yeah.
So like they're big round steaks, but the outside started to fall, fall apart.
I've cut it in half before.
Yeah, you just got like cabbage is one of those things like you got to be careful when you're putting it on there. That doesn't start falling apart, messing things up. But like honestly, man, when I did my cabbage on that way though, like it turned out great. Like I put a little bit of butter on the outside. I seasoned it with
just like melt the butter and like paint it on.
Melt the butter and then just brush it on each side. So I had like 5 of these big steaks out there, and then butter on both sides, some of our garlic seasoning, and then some smoked paprika. And I let those smoke for a while till they got tender. And I didn't cover them or anything. Just let them out there like indirect,
Okay.
And really good flavor. Like that was I probably enjoyed that more than the corned beef I did, just because that was a new way I was doing cabbage. Yeah. So
dude, cabbage on the grill is great, man. Yeah. It really is. I think like kind of I put it on before I did the potatoes because I knew it was going to take a little bit longer and stuff. So that was kind of like the game of it, right? Because like I had the snake method going. I've only got my 22-inch Weber, and I've already got like a good amount of room used up from this pan.
Yeah.
With the corned beef in it. So I was like, all right. So I kind of put the cabbage on the side where the smoke, where it was like kind of rolling to.
Yeah.
So the heat would kind of roll that way. And then once I put the potatoes on, I put those towards like the backside that had kind of already like come through and over the coals that were already kind of hot. So that's what I did.
Interesting.
And then it was a little bit easier, obviously, when I pulled the corned beef off.
Yeah, let it rest.
And then I had to, more room to kind of move stuff around. But at that point, I was just kind of letting the cabbage, finish up and the potatoes just get it to the point where I wanted them.
Yeah, because I mean, the corned beef, as you let it rest, is going to have time to continue to break down a little bit. It'll heat up just a
Yeah.
little bit more. But
I didn't even pull it, Greg.
Right.
Like I just left it in the
Oh, you
tin
did?
pan. Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
just left it in the pan with all the juices and
Yeah.
stuff.
but
and
still
just let
covered.
Yep.
And then
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Solid, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good day.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it was a little cold, a little windy and stuff, but like it was still like, we had gotten quite a bit of snow on Sunday.
Yeah, what was up that?
And I looked out, and Monday morning the grill there was no snow on. I was like, well, there's the sign.
There you go.
Let's go. So I was super pumped, super excited. Like I said, I laid low on the green beers until it was done, and then man, kids crushed it. Like let me tell you.
Yeah.
Even the cabbage, like they're not huge into cabbage, but
there's just something different about St. Patty's Day plus being on a grill.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody will have a little bit of cabbage.
Yep.
Yeah. So I did another one. Like I smoked one last week, and then on St. Patty's Day yesterday, I did one in the crock pot because I had one extra left over. Yeah, same way, man. Like it's just like I put some cabbage at the bottom, some carrots.
Did you cut? Like, how'd you do the cabbage? Did you like shred
I
it or
did
just
shred it? Yeah.
Okay.
So like it was in smaller, finer pieces.
Mm-hmm. Man, cabbage is such a pain in the ass to
it
cut
is,
sometimes.
yeah.
So if you are cutting cabbage, man, just like I said, when taking that core out and stuff, like just be careful, have a good knife and stuff, but like keep your fingers out of the way because like it's tough to. It's not like just your typical like head of lettuce. I mean, it's tough to get through a bit. So just be patient with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I did some carrots and I threw just some vegetable stock at the bottom.
Did you put any Guinness in there?
No Guinness this time.
Okay.
And then just put the corned beef on top of all of it. Put a little bit of our Memphis style seasoning and then some of the seasoning that came in the packet. And I just let it go low and slow all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was done for dinner time and we sliced it up.
Did you slice it again?
Yeah, slice it again. So we had some cabbage left over, but like I said, like a 4-pound point. It doesn't go far anymore, man. Like you're like fighting over scraps.
Yeah.
So.
No, we still have maybe a little bit less than like half or right around there left. So I'm super pumped to play with that a little bit. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Good amount. We still have some cabbage left, but like not a ton either. So a couple potatoes. So it's gonna be man. I've already been thinking like kind of chop it up, all of it. The cabbage and the corned beef there, and put in a bowl and a little bit of Thousand Island there and like mix it up. Like, well, heat the cabbage and the corned beef up first, and then put it in a bowl and like a little Thousand Island and like mix it up and put on some rye bread with some cheese or something like.
So I saw somebody do something similar to that, but they put it on a block of cream cheese and then they smoked the cream cheese, with
like
that.
Oh, great.
Yeah, you could get some of those mini like rye, bread things.
Yeah, that's an animal.
Yeah, and then he just drizzled like Thousand Island.
What do they call that? The heart stopper?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, yeah.
Put some butter on there too.
The hangover special.
Man.
Yeah.
Put a poached egg on there or something. I
thought that was a good idea.
I like that. Look at that.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Try that one out.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then let's see what else. I saw some some other kind of things like we typically don't do, but I know are maybe more traditional that a lot of people do, like bangers and mash. The sausages. The Irish sausages, and then like mashed potatoes and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I was thinking about that, and then also like I saw some recipes for like a whiskey glazed chicken breast.
Ooh.
Yeah.
For St. Patty's Day?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess you could do like a Guinness glaze too, but
yeah. Little whiskey for the bird, little whiskey for you.
Yeah.
Win-win,
But yeah, I've never done bangers and mash, but those are the.
I've never even heard of that.
Oh yeah, so it's an Irish tradition. Let me bring it up. In my sausage book, there's a recipe for it. Bangers and mash dish. It's British. Oh.
No.
Never mind. But that's usually I see that around St. Patty's Day. Bangers and mash Irish. Here we go. Irish bangers and mash.
It's gotta be better.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, so you could do it. Let's see. Yeah, this is one you could use if you want to switch up corned beef and cabbage. It's a perfect Irish comfort food. stick to your rib kind of meal. Just the way I like it.
Yeah.
So like Johnsonville's got like an Irish old garlic sausage. I guess you could use for that. But
Have you ever had it?
I haven't. No.
That sounds good.
Yeah, and then mashed potatoes. But let's see here. Oh, they're just using. I'd have to look up and see. Like I'd have to get like a traditional kind of bangers recipe for the sausage. Like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'd probably like try and make my own or something like that. But you could definitely switch it up if you're getting tired of like the corned beef and cabbage. But
I don't know, man. Tired of corned beef?
yeah, yeah. Or you're looking for something different.
I guess. Sure.
Try something new.
I'm not sure, man. I could do corned beef at least once a month.
Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could do some good Reuben sandwiches with the leftovers.
Man, now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now we're talking, Greg.
Yeah. Did you do anything else? Anything else on the grill?
Let's see. Oh, yeah, we did just kept it simple, man. We did some, honestly, like got back to just hot dogs and baked beans.
Classic.
Oh. Yeah. I know you don't have the Costco membership, man, but like at Costco they have these giant flipping hot dogs.
Yeah.
These things are huge, right? So I got some of those. And like, I mean, they stick out like an inch on each side of like a traditional bun. Yeah. So I was like, oh.
Yeah. Did those bad
did
boys
those.
up?
I did those, man. Yeah. And man, it was a solid night.
Yeah.
Solid night. Just, I don't know. I was just like, you know what? Like, I haven't done anything. Just get like it was. And this was one of those days last week. I think it was like 60.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, what a day to just some dogs and some beans.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was funny too, because like that day, I hadn't decided what I was gonna do yet for dinner, but I picked the kids up, and I was talking to Cal because he had hot lunch that day, and I don't remember what it was, but he had gotten choice 2, but because he got choice 2, like they had baked beans that day. And I was like, "Did you get baked beans, man?" He's like, "No, they wouldn't let me because I had choice 2." I was like, "Well, that's kind of garbage."
Right? Yeah.
Well, screw them, man. We'll make our own then, buddy.
Sure.
He was like, "Oh, thanks, Dad." Yeah. It's like, heck yeah, my man. So. He was pumped, dude. He was
loves
pumped.
His baked beans, huh?
Yeah, so we're going home, and I'm like asking us like, well, we could do this for dinner tonight, but we don't have any hot dog buns, so we'd have to go get them. I'm like, unless you guys, if you don't want hot dog buns, like,
just put them in some mac and cheese.
That's fine. Like we can just
put them in the beans.
Oh, well, yeah, whatever.
Frankie beans,
I don't care.
beans.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Like, we can do whatever. I don't care. I don't need a bun, but like if
put on some bread.
Yeah. So they're like, no, can we get some buns? Well, guess who didn't want a bun? I was like, you guys. I asked you. You set me up.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'll use a bun then.
Sure.
Man. But it was great. It was good. Just like it's so simple, man. Like so simple and just I don't know. Something about like just screamed like it felt like it was like May, June kind of time and just like, oh, hope it stays like this.
Yeah. Well, it didn't. We got snow like the next day.
Yeah, right, man. It
6 inches is like snow.
Geez, yeah.
But no, it's all gone already.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's supposed to snow again tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see.
Man, yeah, it's kind of up and down recently.
Yeah. Yep.
March in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I guess.
60s one day.
Yeah, kids were like on
next.
Friday, literally Friday. Kids had like not my kids, but I saw kids like going to school like shorts and stuff on, and like here we are Monday sending them back to school with their snow stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, you got your boots packed.
Over it. Yeah, it's time to move on. Let's go.
Yeah.
So it's good, man. It's been good to get out there a few times recently. So.
Yeah, it was great, man. Yeah. It was great. The weather was awesome, so it's been nice.
Yeah,
definitely fun to cook outside in the warm weather.
Yeah,
but it's as we say, there's no such thing as a grill season, right?
It's always
grill season. So
good, man. All right, man. Well, I think we'll wrap this episode up.
Yeah, man. It's Happy St. Patrick's Day. Yeah. Hopefully everyone got a chance to get out.
I saw a lot of people getting out and doing it.
Heck yeah.
A lot of corned beef, obviously.
Good. Yeah, good.
A lot of other, like, just kind of, I guess you could say, like, just traditional stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a lot of, like, burgers and things like that, too. So, like, just
on St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah, just
I
people
like
just getting out.
Heck yeah.
Swiss cheese, some burgers, some mushrooms.
Ooh.
Yeah, man. So, good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, let's pick a winner here for this week. For our weekly giveaway, we give away a product each week to someone that subscribed to our newsletter over at burnpitbbq.com. And, Ben, do you remember what we're giving away this week?
Yeah, we're giving our Memphis style pop smoke.
Nice. The Memphis style. That's right.
Yep. This month we're doing Memphis style. Again, this is we picked this because this is if we were to do a bracket, I think this would be in the top 4.
Yeah, you think so?
I do.
The Final Four. If we
I think we'd make the
March
Final
Madness
4
bracket.
if we were doing a March Madness bracket here of all of our products that we have. I think
I'd say it's one of the
making the top 4.
contenders.
Again, if you're cooking for a lot of people, like Greg's mentioned, he used it on his corned beef the other day. It's not spicy, so it's one that you can definitely play with. That if you are going to do your leftovers, any leftover corned beef cabbage, and you're going to try this out with smoking up some cream cheese, you could definitely sprinkle it on there, and then you just
I've done that.
Yeah, top it with your leftover corned beef and cabbage, and then a little Thousand Island, and just have a day with it. So
Awesome.
it's definitely a crowd pleaser, and one that you can get creative with. And we got Easter coming up right around the corner. I think that's next on the list, right, Greg? Easter.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is one that I like to put on my deviled eggs when we're making them. So
awesome.
Yeah. So
I got a winner here. So Mike Spear.
Congrats, Mike.
Congrats, Mike. I don't know where you're from. I don't have your email, or I don't have your address at all, but we'll have to reach out and get that from you. But yeah, Mike's been a subscriber for over a year now, or just about a year. Well, we appreciate you being subscribed and checking us out. So again, head over to burnpitbbq.com, sign up for our emails, and check out the products and stuff like that. It's going to be prime time grilling season here, so make sure you're stocked up so you don't run out while you're cooking, Yeah.
Like tinfoil, right? Make sure this is a good time too. I know we talked about kind of getting ready and getting your stuff back out, right? Getting your grill ready for grill season, but it's also a good time to make sure you're stocked up on everything else you need.
Exactly. Like flavor, like burn pit barbecue flavor.
Like burn pit barbecue flavors.
All right, man. Well, that's all I got.
All right, sounds good. Take it easy.
Cheers.